Hi, Michael Tellinger here. I'd like to talk to you about the shape of the stone circles, these mysterious ancient ruins that cover such large parts of southern Africa, mostly South Africa, Zimbabwe, parts of Botswana, Mozambique, and it goes even further north over the Zambezi River into Zambia and the countries north of Zimbabwe. So obviously, when I was first introduced to these magnificent stone circle ruins in South Africa, that was around 2004, 2005, while I was writing Slave Species of God. Now, in those days, very little literature was available. There was some research papers written about it, and they were talking about these stone circles and ancient ruins. And in those days, there was I think the number that was quoted in those papers was around 20,000 ruins, which is an interesting number. But the one thing that started to jump out at me and at anyone that starts to look at aerial photographs is the strange shapes and the strange patterns of the stone circles. Now, our minds are wired strangely. We always, obviously, we assume that since there's stone walls and a stone structure, it must have been built by somebody, and it would have been built for a purpose or a reason, and that reason could only be for human dwellings, human habitation, or animal dwellings, or to keep animals. And then you start looking at the structures of these stone circles, and you can't help but ponder and wonder, why are these stone circles such weird shapes? Why do they have such weird internal structures? There's an infinite diversity in those. In other words, there are no two stone circles that have got the same internal structure. Now, if you are an ancient group of people, whether you are recent pioneers traveling across the country, or you go further back, some tribes tracking or moving across the country, settling, or if you're ancient civilizations, the Bushmen, the Khoisan, they didn't build those kind of structures at all. So it can't be them. So they have these external walls. They're generally round or roundish or oval shaped, with sometimes things attached to them, sort of semicircular structures attached to the outside wall. By the time I met John Heine towards the end of 2007, and he started to show me the hundreds of aerial photographs that he had taken over the past 15 years of the stone circle ruins, you cannot help but wonder, why are they these weird shapes? And no rational thinking, or what you would think, logical thinking, makes any sense. Because we would think, if I was going to build a kraal for cows or sheep or some animal, it would have some sort of structure to it. And if I was going to build another one, it would sort of look the same, right? So we'd put a plan together, we'd plan it, it'd be a circle, and then we'd put these compartments inside for the goats or the cows and the pigs or whatever animals you are keeping. But that's not the case. Each stone circle is completely unique. There are no two stone circles that are the same. And the internal structures make no sense at all. And especially when you discover that there are no doors and entrances into the original structures. Many of the stone circle ruins that have been found, that I've walked to, that are featured on this channel in my videos, do have entrances created into the walls of the stone circles, the external walls, and then some of the internal walls inside the stone circle structure. But there are many, or I can say countless others, that I have come across, that we have discovered across the hills and mountains of southern Africa. And that's in Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa. Stone circles that don't have doors or entrances into those structures. And that obviously was the big aha moment when I realized that these structures were not built for humans and not built for animals as dwellings in their original form.